start out. We're chatting with Steve Boring, who's got a big weekend ahead, right, Steve? I mean, you're going to be leaving, when do you leave, Friday?
We fly out Friday afternoon. We'll get there Saturday morning to weigh in, and then lift on Sunday.
And you've been training essentially all year for this. You won the title a year ago.
Yep.
And then you competed in the Nationals this year. You defended your title there successfully, and
yep.
you hope to do that again. The amount of time, just give us an idea, how much work goes into this, something like this?
A lot. Time and nutrition, I put a lot of work into it. So I'll start off, typically my workouts last anywhere from usually right around 2.5 hours. Sometimes if I'm really hitting it very, very hard, I have to cut back on the amount of time a little bit. But I'll go through phases where I might work out every single day. I did a couple phases this year where I would bench every single day for about 2 weeks, and then I would take a little break. Other times I might only bench once or twice a week. But obviously with that kind of workload, like lots of nutritional factors weigh in too. So I eat a lot of food. I drink raw eggs, usually at least a dozen, sometimes closer to 2 dozen a day.
A day?
A day. Helps me keep my calories up. And then outside of that, I eat a lot of meat and vegetables and pizza. I eat a lot of pizza.
Got to get those calories in.
Absolutely. That's the hardest part for me, is actually eating enough to be able to do the workouts that I do.
Yeah. The record you're defending, or not the record, but the title that you're defending, 414?
Last year I hit 414 at Worlds. I compete in the 242 class. The American record is 457. I'd really like a shot at that. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it this time. I'm guessing not, but that'll be my next goal after Worlds, is to put in a training cycle to where I can get to the point where I can break that.
You said you became interested in lifting. I'm not sure if it's powerlifting, but lifting where you're just a kid, and then at some point you got pretty serious about it. How did you decide you were going to powerlift rather than just, the regular weightlifting?
Yeah, so my dad really had a strong influence I started lifting when I was 7 years old, so I fell in love with it right away. I've always been pretty competitive, so I played all the different high school sports, stuff like that. Actually, when I went to college, I got into boxing and mixed martial arts. But I really don't like doing a ton of cardio. So after a while, I decided I didn't want to run and eat nothing but healthy food constantly. So actually, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to continue to scratch my competitive itch, but I also wanted to get back into the heavy lifting, which I've enjoyed my whole life. So it actually, when I retired from combat sports, that's when I decided that I wanted to kind of go that route. It just made sense for me, more so than bodybuilding or something like that, because I like to eat too much.
And you say this sport is becoming pretty popular, attracting more and more people, and also women.
Yep.
Well,
so
what's up with that?
I read actually just a couple days ago that women 18 to 30, that's the fastest growing sector of powerlifting, and I know most of the athletes that I train here are women that fall within that category. And I think it's just, part of it is just, as thankfully old stereotypes and stuff like that die, and you realize that, these ladies, there are ladies out there, quite a few of them, that can outbench me, quite a few of them. And so it's amazing to see kind of the change that has happened in the sport, and I love to see that aspect of growth in there as well.
That is incredible. So you're going in this weekend, you're away from not only your home here, not only Minnesota, not only the country, you're going to be in England. Do you think that will affect you, or are you just going to go in and live?
I'm a little worried about the flight, just because I like to sleep when I fly, but I can never sleep when I fly. So I'm a little worried about the jet lag. Otherwise, I'm just looking forward to going overseas and having fun. I have family over there that I'm going to visit up in Scotland when we're finished. So I would say I don't really get nervous a lot before competitions anymore. Mostly it's just I'm hungry because I'm cutting weight. Hungry, and have just gotten done with an overnight flight, yeah. So I might be kind of irritable at first.
Do you ever, when maybe as you're waiting your turn to go and compete, do you ever just sit there and pinch yourself and say, I'm going to be lifting more than 400 pounds?
I think probably the first time I did it, I think so, but now more than anything, I just really try to focus on the upcoming lift. So I use a lot of visualization techniques and stuff like that. I try to not get too overwhelmed by any of it, because really if I sit down and think and I say, okay, I'm about to do 400 pounds, 400 pounds, and then I'm like, can I even do that? So I try and more focus. I'll usually set my mind to pick a weight heavier even than I'm about to do it. I'm like, I'm gonna get this. Like, I know it's gonna fly. And then hopefully it really does.
All right, so you've been training for a year. You had, was it in April you did the national competition? But still, you've been essentially training all year. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Do you think you can defend this title?
I hope so. I'm going to give it my best shot. I always like to focus in competitions. I like to focus on myself more than anything else. So as long as I can go and have my best meet ever, I'm going to be happy regardless of the result. And what I'm looking forward to most is eating a lot after I weigh in.
All right. Well, don't eat any bad eggs before.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Steve, good luck, and we're going to be tracking you. We'll try to get the results up and posted as soon as we hear, and bring that title home.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Steve.